Hello, my people. So, this is the continuation of the actual story of my evil aunt. Okay, so part five, this is part five, right? And it is all about now when, after, the whole incident where, my aunt kicked me on my face several times. I laid charges, I dropped the charges, everything, right? So part five is all about the after everything. Okay. So exactly after the charges got dropped, everything calmed down at home. Like it was just like calm, everything was calm, and I think it was a few days or like just exactly like after a week, my grandmother started getting sick again. Like she got worse than what she was, right? And I decided that okay, I was going to take care of her here at home. Well, it's not like I had a choice, it was just me and her who were living here at home. And so I took care of her, right? And I just put aside everything that had happened, between me and her and just the whole family, regarding the whole assault incident. And I decided that, listen, my gran comes number one now. Let me just take care of her. I don't want to lie, guys, like changing from that to now taking care of my grandmother was really, really hard for me, okay, because she wasn't there for me. Now, all of a sudden, I should be there for her. But for the fact that this person raised me to be the woman that I am today, was the reason why I decided, let me just put everything aside and take care of my grandmother, because at the end of the day, I love her and I don't want anything bad to happen to her. So, we started getting along, communicating, when during the time where she was, sick and everything like that. And I took care of her, guys. It was very difficult. It's very difficult to take care of someone who is sick. Very, very difficult, especially someone who is older than you, someone who is a grandmother or even your mother. Not only does it take physical, and emotional toll on you, but mentally you just like it just ruins your mental capabilities, as a person. So I had to just, it was just me and her, right? And I had to put myself aside and, just be sort of like a caregiver to her, basically, So nothing was for me anymore. Nothing was about me anymore. It was about her for about 2-3 weeks here at home. And everything that she wanted, I was there for her. Whenever she wanted medication, whenever she wanted, to go outside, it was very difficult to also just, at night, just to hear her, cry because of the pain that she was in. And obviously, I couldn't stand that. I couldn't just be in my room just hearing her cry, because it hurt me. And so most of the time, sometimes I'll be in her room just to make sure that she's not alone, that I'm there for her. There were times where she couldn't stand being indoors, because I think maybe she felt very much claustrophobic, and so most times, each and every single day, most days, she would, go outside in the yard or in the patio, and then she would just sit there for a very long time, guys, like to a point where like even like from the morning until the afternoon, like I would have to bring her food outside because she just couldn't stand the indoors. She felt more calmer, more relaxed, more, how can I put it, more herself when she was outside than when she was inside, which I could also understand. I mean, she's traumatized, like every single time when she's crying and stuff like that, she's in bed inside the room and stuff like that. So I do understand the change of scenery, So the nice thing about this whole thing is that she, as much as she was sick and I was taking care of her and I was doing majority of the things here at home, she could still walk, to the bathroom, to do whatever she needs to do, even bath herself as well, or shower for herself. So she could do those things, those basic things, even eat by herself. The only thing that she couldn't do was to be mobile a lot. So whenever she wanted to walk somewhere, or maybe walk to like outside to go sit, I needed to help her whenever, like labor stuff, man, like making her food, cleaning the house, like there was no nanny even, it was just, I mean, there was no domestic worker, it was just me and her. So I was doing every single thing, everything, every single day for 3 weeks. Okay. And I did not mind, because she was my grandmother. I love, 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 love that woman. It's like my second mom, basically. Okay. And, I was fine doing everything, So it came to a point now where, her sickness was not getting any better. And, I was in communication with my uncle as well. And, my uncle spoke to her, and to actually go to the hospital, to actually be admitted, so that she can get better than what she is here at home. And I agreed with that, and also just me, it was getting too much for me to just take care of her alone, okay, with no help at all. So my grand was quite stubborn, and so she did not like the fact that she had to go to a hospital. So my uncle had to kind of persuade her a bit, so finally she decided, okay, she needs to go because things are not getting any better. So she went, and also we didn't want anything to happen to her here at home, knowing the fact that there is a place where she can actually get better, and we didn't want her life to be in our hands at the end of the day, and so I took her to the hospital. We drove there. I drove her there. She was admitted. She stayed there for about 3 days. She was supposed to stay there for about a week, but it was 3 days, right? She got there. She really was not feeling the environment, and she didn't like it at all. And so every single day, I went to go visit my grandmother. So in the morning, in the evening, in the morning, in the evening, just to make sure that she's okay, that, nothing is wrong, that she's not feeling out of place, that she's with someone, and I did not mind doing that as well. Whatever she wanted, I brought to her, whether it was blankets, whatever, nightgown, slippers, whatever she wanted. Okay. Now, I was quite happy that she was going to hospital. One, for the fact that, those are doctors know what to do. But also the most important thing is that I now get time to be on myself, where I did not get time to do anything for myself, because I was busy taking care of her, and so just to be in the house, not having to attend to anyone, was such a relief for me. Like, it was so stressful for me, emotionally, physically, mentally, like to a point where the first day or the second day where she was at hospital, right? There was a time where I came home in the evening from visiting her, and my head, guys, like it felt like the inside of my brain was sort of like cooling off. Like it was so hot. It was so hot, and I didn't understand what that was. But I was so thankful that she was at the hospital. I don't want to lie. To me, it was a peace of mind, a relaxing time for me, And I remember my uncle calling, and I just, he spoke to me about, it's also time for you to relax and stuff like that, just to relieve yourself from everything that you've done for, my mother and stuff like that. And I agreed with him. And I was really, really relaxed. And the next day, to hear that, when I went to go visit her in the morning, to hear that she's coming back like the next day, or like the fourth day or the third day, I was quite like, I was not looking forward to that at all. As much as it was great that she was getting better, but I was like expecting more days for myself. Anyways, she came back. We came back. I took her from hospital. We drove back home.